I guess we are live. Thanks for coming to our live chat. This is what I call Tuesday night gun chat. I used to call it late night gun chat because it's late night on the East Coast, but it's not even 6 o'clock here yet. It is 5:50 p.m. Going a little early tonight, so hopefully I can end a little early so I can play with my son and that kind of thing, my daughter, and do those kinds of things and pet my own guns. They need to be petted every once in a while. Let's be honest. If you haven't been to one of these before, all right. You basically ask me questions about gun, I give you my answer, and it's worth exactly what you paid for it, which is absolutely nothing, unless, of course, you put in a super chat, and that means it's worth way less than what you paid for it. So that is what we are talking about tonight. I've been busy planning hunts for next year. I'm hoping that I get to hunt. I've had some health issues recently. We had a might have degenerative discs in my back, and so those might require some surgery or some physical therapy and stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to hunt next year. Moose might have been the last thing I get for a while. But anyway, the videos won't be every week anymore because I am probably going to be concentrating on some health stuff. So I'm trying to sit up back and roll my shoulders back and relax. So to not hurt my back. And then I've got medicine with me. I've been a little loopy. So I might be doing that. Make sure you say hi in the chat. I want to shout out the side chat and say hi to everybody. So please, join if you would like to, and say hi, that kind of thing. If you're another content creator, it's on my email list. I've sent you a link. You're welcome to pop in here and answer people's questions as well. All right. Um, Montana Musings, did I send you the link? Let me see if I sent you the link. Okay. So, but yeah, everybody, make sure you say hi, and I'll shout out the chat. Um, See if I sent Montana Musings. Did I? I don't have your email. Send me an email, Montana Musings, and I'll give you a chat link, and you can get in here and chat as well. Everybody, go subscribe to him. All right. So far, we have Chris Heisteman from North Pole, Alaska, Fairbanks area. So that's cool. Hunter Kirk, good evening from North Idaho. Good evening, Hunter Kirk. I hope you're doing well. Do y'all have snow yet in Idaho? Just asking. Dan O'Neill with the Yep Yep. How's it going, brother? He's one of my biggest supporters on my channel. Appreciate it, Dan O'Neill. All right, Montana Musings. If you haven't actually go subscribe to him, go subscribe to him. Uh, Getting ready to upload a video. Be back soon. Okay, what's up? All right, good. David Martin, good to see you. Good evening from Sodak. I guess that's South Dakota. Sodak. I like that. Sodak. Sodak sounds like a Star Wars name. Oh no, it sounds like a Stargate Jaffa name. That's what it sounds like. Sodak. All right. I'm a Stargate nerd, so is what it is. Philip Mullis, it's good to see you. How you doing? Good evening. Rich B, good evening from Virginia. Don't forget, we need to put in your questions about guns. Let's talk about anything you guys want to talk about. James Hine, or Hine, you know what I'm trying. James Hine, good to see you again. All right. What is up, Gorilla HD? Go subscribe to him. He's supposed to be starting a channel, so give him some subscribers he can start a channel with. All right. He has the best composer in the world for his intro music. I'm just saying. So go check him out. Yep. David Posey from Tennessee. Go Vols. Go Vols, baby. All right. Hunter Kirk. It snowed about 8 inches, then Pineapple Express came through and is melting most of it now. Oh, cool. Yeah. You had one of those little warm up fronts coming through after the snow. That's cool. Awesome intro music. Yep. Cool. North Pole, Alaska, checking in. Red Team 98. Good to see you. Um, that's awesome. North Pole is. I've been to North Pole once to play a football game when I was coaching at Bartlett. We absolutely totally destroyed them. All right, Dan O'Neill says Taurus 10 millimeter. Well, like anything else, Taurus, it'll probably break. So I've seen so many Tauruses break, and people go, "Oh, but they've improved." Okay, they've improved. That's great. And then the improved ones break too. I just see it all the time. So I don't trust it as far as I can throw it. So it would be, and I can throw a Taurus 10 millimeter. I bet I can throw it 50 yards. So yeah, yeah, I would not trust it that far. So make sure you don't buy one. And I want to see somebody go put a 220 grain buffalo bore in it and watch it blow up and springs break and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, now the TX22 does look pretty good from Taurus. I'll tell you that. right now. I like the TX22. And by Sam, he means Gun Sam Revolver Aficionados. If you haven't checked out Gun Sam Revolver Aficionado, it's a great channel. Um, but yeah, that TRS TX22 does look actually pretty good. I've shot one, the competition model. It was really nice. Um, but the next one I shot right next to it was a G2C or something, or G3 or whatever, and it was 2 feet low. Like it was like you were chook shooting and dropping your rounds low, like chook does, and it was like you were doing that, but you weren't. So it was bad. You couldn't hit anything with them. So, and then I've seen just so many revolvers not that you could close and sit there and spin it. You could close it, sit there and spin it. It wouldn't lock up. It'd take 5 minutes before it got locked up. So there's that. So all right. Good evening, Ken Bean, who is in charge of CKBcastbullets.com, which is, I think I have one of these right behind the computer. Yep. I thought I did. Of course, I moved it. Yeah. You know how that works. But yeah, CKBcastbullets.com, and best cast bullets you can buy. So go over there, get them. All right, rather have a Ruger or an S&W. Well, that depends. That really depends on what is it being used for. Are we talking semi-auto? Or are we talking, revolver? I'm assuming we're talking revolver. I have both, and I have a Ruger in 357, and I have a Smith& Wesson in 44, and I would take my Smith& Wesson in 44 any day. I feel like I'm more accurate with it. It's smoother, but that Ruger is more robust, and it's gorgeous with that Ruger Wrangler Cerakote on the 357 GP100. It's pretty gorgeous. So, is what it is. Welcome back. What would your wolf gun and cartridge of choice? What would be your wolf gun and cartridge of choice? Um, well, that depends. Are you talking about like defending against a wolf pack? You would probably use the same thing you do for a grizzly bear, because the grizzly bear is, short, quick, pointable. So your lever action 4570s, your AR-10 in 308 or bigger, that kind of thing. Now, if you're going to hunt wolf, I'd say you could get away with like a 6.5 Creedmoor, 7 millimeter '08, that kind of thing. Something that has good range and good drop, but it's not going to break the bank, and it's not going to be, too weird. I plan on getting out and trying to hunt some wolf or coyotes this winter. My camera guy he has a collar, so this is what it is. So was that before or after the North Pole won the state championship? Well, North Pole is not in the same division as Bartlett, so they've never won the state championship that I know known about, for football. So kind of is what it is. Um, I mean, we just crushed them. It was about 6 or 7 years ago. Ruger Red Hawk any day with full power loads. Yeah, yeah. There you go. You can get full power loads. Okay, now this is a good one. Thoughts on GP 100 match champion in 10 millimeter? I've held a couple of them. A revolver in 10 millimeter, any revolver in 10 millimeter is a fun gun and pointless. Now, that being said, you are allowed to own guns just because you like to shoot them. They're fun to shoot. So if you think it's fun to have a 10 millimeter and a revolver and you like to shoot it just because it's fun, that's great. But it's absolutely pointless. So you lose velocity for the same length of barrel with the cylinder gap. You lose 10 rounds of capacity from 16 down to 6. You lose the faster follow-up time because the semi-auto and the spring working the recoil helps you get back on target faster. All right, semi-autos can actually just be shot faster because the recoil, as it's coming back, hits the spring and goes forward. Now, good people who can shoot a revolver faster, like Jerry Michulik, but for the average person who's going to go out there, they're going to shoot a semi-automatic faster. So I honestly think that they're pointless unless you like the feel of it. And the good thing about it is you don't have to worry about shooting 40 Smith and Wesson in it, and it head spacing on the extractor. So there's that. So you still get two calibers in one revolver, like 38 special and 357 Magnum, or 44 special and 44 Magnum. you still get that. You can still shoot 40 Smith and Wesson. And the other good thing is moon clips are speed loaders. So there's that. But I do think, to match what you're going to get in a G40 velocity wise, you're going to have to get a 7, 8 inch barrel in a match champion. I don't even know if they make that because the cylinder gap lose so much. Military Arms Channel had a good video on it. He lost a lot of velocity in a 4 inch or 6 inch 10 millimeter revolver compared to a 1911. He lost anywhere from 70 to 160 or 170 feet per second, depending on the load they were actually shooting. So that's my opinion on 10 millimeter revolvers. I think if they're a fun gun for you, great. You're allowed to own stuff that's just fun to shoot. All right. I do. You do. We all do it. Okay. But as far as a defensive gun, as far as a fun gun, or as far as like a defensive gun, they are absolutely pointless 10 millimeter revolvers. All right. If you're gonna get a revolver, why would you not get it something that had more power than a 10 millimeter? Even 357 Magnum, the maximum loads have more power than a 10 millimeter maximum loads, like the Buffalo Bore 180 grain hardcast stuff. It had like 200 more foot pounds of energy, and then a 6.5 inch G40. So it's a lot, that there. So why would you not get a 357 or a 41 or a 44 that is a revolver cartridge? That's just my thing. But if you like it and it's fun, go shoot it. That's that kind of thing. Huh, yeah, I was barely out of high school in 2004, man. All right, yeah. It was a long time after that. North Pole beats West. West is, I don't think the North Pole I saw could beat the West I've seen for a decade, the last decade. So I can tell you that much. So, but that's that. And that does lead me into like I want to talk a little bit about college football because I am a college football fan and I'm a football fan and football coach in general. So, um, I really really think that yes, Florida State got screwed, but when you look at the opponents that Alabama played, they were much more quality opponents than what Florida State played. I mean, Florida State only played a couple of good teams, and Alabama played a bunch of good teams. They played a bunch of teams that were ranked in the top 25 when they played them, and Florida State didn't. So that's that. They played at Tennessee and beat them, unfortunately. Tennessee beat ourselves. They beat Georgia, who was ranked number 1 in the polls, and for good reason. They beat LSU. They beat Old Miss. All these people were ranked, and who did Florida State beat? So I think they got the right 4 teams in there. But Florida State, you need to move to the SEC. It's so simple. All right. What's up, Chuckles? The last person to call me Chuckles is you know, uh talking with St. Peter. So I'm just kidding. Anyway, just kidding. All right. Travis Chapman, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. And don't forget to put your questions in here because this is what we do is we answer your questions, that kind of thing. So I guess my question to you guys would be um, if I wanted to build a 10 millimeter PCC, who would you go with? What parts and that kind of thing? That would be my question to you guys. 10 millimeter PCC because I'm looking into that. I was thinking about getting the Meta Tactical. I've been talking to the guys at Meta Tactical. That looks like a viable option. So kind of is what it is. So yeah, Florida State's strength of schedule was 55th in the nation. I think that's what did them in. Plus, the ACC is weak every year. This year, especially the best play I saw from the ACC was Georgia Tech. I didn't expect them to play that well against Georgia, so that was a good game. And love the Georgia Tech fight song. So can't repeat most of it on YouTube. So Chapin. Why do I keep saying the wrong thing? Okay, thanks. Sorry, Chapin. I'm sorry, I can't read apparently, Travis. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call you Mr. Travis. All right. Can't apparently I can't read, and I'm a school teacher, so that tells you the state of the education in America right there. So this is what it is. So yeah, and they had their quarterback hurt, and they did not play really well against Louisville. But here's how the college football playoff should work. Here's how the college football playoff should work. You have five power conferences. Now I know they're changing all the conferences next year, and it's stupid, but you have five power conferences. The conference champion from each of those five power conferences should be in the playoffs. Period. Okay. It doesn't matter if they're 7-4 in the conference champion, because that means they're still capable of beating anybody else in the nation because they beat everybody in their conference and made it all the way up. Okay. The conference champion is there, and the three next best records. And if you have a tie in the next records, it's total points and offense as a breaker, um, total scoring defense as a tiebreaker. Those two things are your tiebreakers, and you'll never have to get to a third or fourth tiebreaker. But I listed them all out when I was typing a Facebook response yesterday, and so that is how college football should work. Okay, um, your five power conferences. All right, if you play in Eastern Home State, Alaska Bush League conference, you don't get in. Okay, unless you go 14-0 or something like that. Okay, and we saw that with Texas Christian TCU getting in last year, and they have a great game against Michigan, and then they got some injuries and stuff, and they absolutely showed up and pooped the bed against Georgia. Like literally pooped the bed about against Georgia. Georgia scored what over 9 touchdowns in that game. It was crazy. And for the that championship. Yep, the portal is out of control this year. Everybody jumping the ship. Yeah, and you should get one portal transfer. You should get one portal transfer. You get a second one if you graduate and are pursuing a master's degree, and you get a fifth year of eligibility. That's it. Okay, that's it. You should get one portal transfer. All right. Maybe you get a second one for medical, but that's it. All right. I can tell you from Anchorage High School Association League being a freaking sieve on the transfers. They just let everything through. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful at high school level. It's got to be even worse at college. So, college football is all about who can bring the most money, who can pay the most to be in. Yeah, that's true. So, all right. I dislike PCCs as practical guns. If you're going to shoot, go to that length and get the bat performance. I would go to 300 blackout pistol personally. Greater reach, easier to source parts, more ammo. Yeah. I would disagree on the more ammo. 9mm has probably more ammo up here, at least, than 300 blackout. So does 10mm up here. But that being said, you get more ammo in the magazine versus a standard capacity magazine. All that being said, yeah, it's more of a fun gun. The other idea is a lot of times my wife will walk the kids in the neighborhood and she'll walk them up the hill on the trail. She won't walk them far up in the woods and stuff, but all she has is the G40, and I would want her to take something that is easier to sight but not heavy, and she'd only have to carry one type of spare magazine for two guns, that kind of thing. So the whole idea of a PCC, and it'll probably be an SBR PCC, is to have it a 10.5 inch, 10mm upper, and that could feed 200 grain hard cast and just pump it out so that it can go right to a bear, that kind of thing. So that kind of thing, and plus a 10.5 inch, 10mm would be good for the channel. So um, I like I like that. So oh, okay, J- okay, I did not know who that was. I should have recognized the rifle. All right, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I actually had a Marlin Camp 45. It was fun, except you couldn't do anything but 10-round magazines, and it was iffy with those 10-round magazines. So I ended up selling it. My ex-wife at the time didn't like it. Mine had the folding stock. Mine had a Bear Creek Arsenal not Bear Creek Arsenal, um, Butler Creek folding stock on it. It was awesome. All right, I would have rather had the wood stock, but yeah. So M1 carbine is also very good. So. Yeah, but yeah, fun gun. The other thing I could see a good practical thing about a PCC, and you're right, 300 blackout's probably still better for this, Chris. But if it, as a bear bait station, a gun, and you just want to ear hole your bear and gut the meat, cut out the meat that way, that's probably a really really great way to do it. Um, if you want to ear hole them and that kind of thing, I think that would be the way to do. Everything has ear holes. It'd be a good way to introduce kids to deer hunting as well, with a PCC. Something that had enough strength, like the 10 millimeter. And so 10 millimeters more powerful than 300 blackout subs. So it would be definitely a toss up. Interesting there. So that is what I like. So I also have an M1 Garand and three other rifles and 30-06. Well, that'll do it. So we know what caliber you like. There's nothing wrong with 30-06. That's for sure. That is for sure. I kind of feel like the 30-06 is it's not great at anything, but it's good at everything. You know. So, but that's me. I mean, I guess there's millions of dead Germans and Japanese and North Koreans and Chinese that would, and even probably some Vietnamese and other people that would disagree with me. So there is that. So I would look at something like a Microni, but I don't see an option for G40. I have a G20, so I wouldn't want it. The G40 would stay a pistol. The G20 is what I would convert. But the Microni I don't really like. With the brace rule being up in the air, they might get it stayed, they may not. Right now it is legal. It's been completely done, but the ATF can go to the Supreme Court and appeal to have that stayed. Um, so with the brace being maybe legal, maybe not, I don't really like the idea of a macaroni. I'm going to either register it as an SBR or I'm going to have a 16-inch barrel, one of the two. Probably the latter, but the ATF knows you have it, whatever way you go, right? So might as well do that. Cool. And Weatherby Vanguard VGX. How do you like your Weatherby Vanguard? I haven't got the best accuracy out of my Weatherby Vanguard yet. I'm still working on it. I've gotten a .9-inch group one time. So no, man, I've seen too many Chris Vectors as be a freaking jam-o-matic. They're very ammo picky. Um, and I've shot one on the channel once and it's jammed a couple or twice, two early channel videos, and it jammed twice and it was awful. So looking at the G20, go with Gen 5 or Gen 4. I go with Gen 4 personally. I think the three pin system's a little stronger. Um, but it's up to you. The the G20 Gen 5 performed well for me. I got a video on it, so it's that. So I'm not a knife guy. You need to ask Alaska Frontier One or Chook, one of those two guys. They're the ones that are the knife guys. I basically take whatever sharp blade I have. I have a couple of tops knives that work really well. Um, so that's what I've ended up skinning my moose with. So, and then I like outdoor edge, and just replace the blades. So mine's accurate, works well for deer. There you go. Yeah. They are hideous. Yep, and they jam a lot too. I saw a new unissued Enfield Mark IV still in the mummy wrap, super tempting at $400, $1,400. I passed. Yeah, that's really expensive to me. I know the market's gone up, and that's probably what it's worth, but I can if I'm spending $1,400, I'm buying something brand new, pristine, that's coming off the shelf. So is what it is. Finally made it live. What's up, Joshua Grantland? It's nice to see you. Travis Chapin. Also have a number 4 Mark One. There you go. Eagle Run 23 is another really good knife guy if you need another recourse. Okay, good. So there's Eagle Run 23. Go check him out. Thanks, Bending Ballistics. I appreciate it. So how's everything going with you, Bending Ballistics? If you haven't subscribed over to Bending Ballistics, go subscribe over to him. So make sure you do that. Yeah. No, I'm thinking about the 10 millimeter PCC because I want it for the channel. It'd be nice to have a 16-inch barrel. It's kind of been hard to see that. It's kind of been hard to source a 16-inch barrel upper. So Pro 2A Tactical is only making it in 10 and a half, which means I have to put a pistol tube on it, or I have to do that. And once you put a pistol tube on it, but no stock, so I have to SBR it eventually. So we'll see. My M39 is a tack driver. Cool. That is cool. Yeah. Yeah, my Weatherby Vanguard 300 Magnum. I'm still working out loads for it. Like I said, I've gotten a .9-inch group one time. I really think it likes to wait 5 minutes between shots. So Cool. Been a little busy. We're swamped at the shop and trying to finish some Wildcat AR-15s for my personal builds, and I'm trying to get ready for 24 rifle season. Cool. Thoughts on price versus quality on big armory lever guns? I've only ever held one. Quality is excellent. Excellent. So if you want the best quality lever action you can buy, it's the way to go. Plus, you can get it in 500 Smith& and Wesson, 460 Smith, and have the same cartridge perfectly capable in that length of barrel as 4570 is in that length of barrel, and is right up there with it. And you can have it in your same ammo in your handgun. So they're like that to me. If you can afford it, I'm not that guy, but if you can afford it and you like it, go and get it because they're very very good quality. I haven't shot it, and it could shoot it fall apart. Who knows? But I the one I looked at, the fit, the finish, the function of the lever, very very good, excellent rifle. So yeah, TNW Aero Survival maybe. Yeah, I was looking at those. They're pretty cool. Um, but I don't think they could take the heavy loads of a 10 millimeter. Number one, and number two, they tend to loosen up between the upper and the lower. I've seen a lot of problems with that happening. So is what it is. Love my M94 and M96 Swedish Mausers. That's awesome, dude. Bighorn's bolt actions. I didn't even know they made bolt actions. Some of the nice bolt actions I own. I think they're better than my Defiance actions. Okay, there you go. I sold my Vanguard and picked up my Christensen Ridgeline for the lighter weight. Well, I have the Vanguard First Light, and the weight's not that big of a problem. Isn't? I mean, even with the scope and everything, I think it's 8.5 pounds. Scope in a 26-inch 300 Win Mag barrel. So I just think it's a thin barrel. I'm gonna have to either settle for an inch and a quarter, which is what it can get consistently, or I'm gonna have to find a good load for it. So one of those is gonna be the case. So I'm hoping it'll do that. You're right about 30-06. It's good at everything, but not the best at anything. Yeah, there's not really anything I think 30-06 is the best at. Because, I mean, except for being the best at all around, but then you could argue that 7 millimeter Magnum, Remington Magnum, is the best all around. All right, because it does get more power than a 30-06 with her about the same recoil. So are you still using your Henry 45X 4570 if you're so happy with it? Yeah, yeah, I'm still using it. Um, it doesn't like a lot of the longer bullets, so the 430 grains will jam up on you a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go back to like extreme penetrators or copper solids in it. So yeah, with the Marlin M94 in 44 Magnum, like I have, be a good bear medicine up there in AK. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Mr. Chapin, absolutely. Um, but Marlin warns, or Buffalo Boar warns about using the 340 grain plus B plus in a Marlin because of the twisting of the rifling and the way it meets the lands. You might get some overpressure problems. So you probably want to drop down to that Keith gas check 255 grain or one of the Buffalo Boar 305 grains. And but yeah, the gun is absolutely fine. I listed him as an honorable mention on my top 10 bear defense guns video. I listed any PCC lever action, if you will, because if you're going to carry a rifle, you might as well carry a rifle caliber that's going to get the job done. But that doesn't mean it's bad. And I would love to have one like that to shoot on the channel. So that's that. Hello, 3006 is a jack of all trades. It is a jack of all trades, master of none. What powder have you used to reload the 6.5 PRC? I haven't done a lot of testing yet, but I used Hunter and I think it was Hunter powder or Magnum. It was Magnum or Mag Pro, I think. It was 127 grain Barnes LRX, and I don't know. Remember the powder charge? I'd have to do that. I haven't done any accuracy testing with it yet, with the hand load yet. I've only done it with the factory. And right now it would not be fair because that CZ 600 Alpha has such a flimsy stock that it would be unfair to um give any accuracy test to it. Okay, so if you could only have one rifle caliber, what would it be? Well, you know, for me, it'd be 6.5 by 284 Norma in a bolt action. I love my 6.5 by 284 Norma. It can take any game in North America, as I proved because I took the moose with it this year. High BC, you know, I hand load, so I enjoy the hand loading of it. I got plenty of brass and powder and primers and that kind of thing. But a more practical choice would be the 308 Winchester because you can have an AR-10 that is your defend against the Russian Chinese zombie apocalypse. All right, dropping over in parachutes. So you have an actual battle rifle, and then you can load it up with 125 grain Acubons or 125 grain soft points, and then you have a home defense rifle that's way more effective than an AR-15 by putting double the bullet at the same speed onto a person, onto a bad guy, and those lightweight 308 bullets will shred and probably not penetrate your walls and that kind of thing. Um, and then you have serious with 308. It can my 6.5 284 normal with a 127 grain LRX can kill a moose at just under 3,000 feet per second. My 308 at 3150 with the Barnes TTSX 130 grain could kill a moose, or 150 grain is probably what I'm going to go with. And I was getting 2790 out of an 18-inch barrel with 150 grain with the Barnes data. So I was tickled pink about that. It was supposed to get about 2850 in in a 24-inch barrel. So the fact that at 6 inches barrel I was only losing 60 feet per second with H335. So, yeah, 308 Winchester would be the case because if you could only own one rifle caliber to do it all, you could load it down for groundhogs, you could load it up for moose, you could use it for crap hits the fan, you could use it for a battle rifle, life and limb. So there is that. But if someone put a gun to my head and said you're selling all the rifles but this one, if I can get it working and get Savage to help me correct it, it would be my 6.5 by 284 Norma because it's my most accurate gun. So, Jeff Chapin, my JM Marlin 1894S does too. Haven't started running heavy rounds through it yet because my 4570 handles that duty. There you go. Got almost the same rifle with that. Oh, okay. I'm missing some stuff here. All right. M94 is micro groove rifling. When will Ruger give us a 1022 with micro groove rifling? That's what we want. A while ago, we went to get a buffalo, and the rancher said that the 7 millimeter rig mag was the one round that they've had the most trouble putting down animals. Bullet choice versus velocity and tough animal, I suspect. Yeah. I mean, if they're having a trouble with a 7 millimeter rim mag putting down animals, it ain't the cartridge. It's bullet choice and shot placement versus velocity. Yeah. So yeah, tell that rancher to give me a call. All right. H4350 has worked well for a lot of guys in the PRC. Cool. That's the 6.5 PRC. You think Rossi 4411 action can handle the Underwood hard cast and extreme penetrators hunters? Probably not, but we're gonna find out pretty soon because there's a toy to play with that I have that somebody donated, and it's not a 44, it's a 480. So we'll find out pretty soon. I've got to get some work done to it because it did not come in pristine condition. So. My dad years ago had issues knocking down a blacktail at close range using 154 grain soft points and 7 millimeter rim mag. Same issue I expect. Yeah. Yeah. 7 millimeter rim mag sends things extremely fast. It has to be a bonded bullet or a copper bullet. Like SSTs, interlocking soft points, just they're going to mess up. Like you need to have heavy for caliber if you're going to go soft point, like 175 grain, or you need to have a bonded bullet or a copper bullet. Yeah, it is what it is. 308 is my choice too. See, we think alike. It's good. All right. Travis, I have an 1895 Marlin with a Ballard rifling and 4570. Super fun. There you go. Yeah, 308 would be it too. Same reason. It's the most like the AR-10 platform. If you get a good, reliable one, it's the most versatile platform rifle in America. So there is that. All right, understood. Gorilla HD. David Moore and I will be loading H1000 max loads with 147 grain match bullets. I've also used one H1000 with 140 grain Nos or Acubons. I'm hoping to test them this weekend. Cool. Yeah, I've heard H1000 is pretty good in 6.5 PRC too. So I only got one can of H1000. It's hard to find, so kind of is what it is. All right, good. My Marlin's JM stamped. So is mine. My Marlin 22 Magnum is. Thoughts on the high shoulder shot placement? I have a 6.5 284 Norma with that shot placement that put down a moose. I missed the first time I was aiming wrong, and I missed. Got it right behind the high shoulder, and the next one hit him right in the hump of the shoulder, and he just went down. He just flattened that moose with a 127 grain LRX from a 6.5 by 284 Norma. So if high shoulder shot placement is that, now when I got up to them, they're still alive. That's the thing about high shoulder shot placement; they will still be alive walking up to them. All right, they could still be kicking. It is an instant putter downer, but it is not an instant. It's an instant. It is not an instant killer. All right, it's going to incapacitate them pretty quick, just like it would you or me. But if it misses the actual um, blood vessels from the heart going up to the brain, it's not going to kill him right away. I had to put another one in the back of that moose's head. He was still kicking, pretty good. So wonder about those 44 mag 1022 would handle hard cast extreme penetrator. What do you mean 44 mag 1022? That what was it, the 9644 or the 1044, whatever they called it, the gun? Is that what you're talking about? That semi-auto six-shot rotary bolt they used to make. They used to make it with a lever action too. That's that. John Crump News in the house. Everybody go subscribe to him if you hadn't already. Wolverines. All right. Make sure you go subscribe to him. Good guy. All right. He usually gets the Amendment news out first before anybody else. Have you ordered from AT3 Tactical? I have not. So, yep. I'll say hi to John Crump News. If you haven't subscribed to him, you suck at life. Go get it subscribed. So, the Deer Slayer. Yep. It'll drop it in its tracks. The high shoulder shot is a great drop it in its tracks. It's not necessarily a great killer. Yeah, the 7744, they had the bolt action there for a while. If I had one of those, that'd be fun. I would love to have one of those. All right. My choice for deer hunting is 20 millimeter because you like to grind it into sausage and hamburger right there and have it cooked medium rare. So, yep, that's the immediate hamburger exactly. It's always one smartass in the group, John Crump. Always one, and usually it's me. I think they have the same barrel as the Red Hawk SP Black. Maybe, but it was longer. That's for sure. How far was the house explosion from you? I have not heard about this. Key threes. Buffalo Boar's 180 grain hardcast is super penetrator out of my 1894 Marlin 357 Magnum accurate. Also, that's great to hear. It's great to hear that like the Marlin rifling handles it. So I have both the 16-inch and 20-inch Ruger S-FARs. Love these rifles. It has ruined me for AR-10s. I just want them to provide us with other caliber options. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a 20-inch Ruger S-FAR and a 6.5 Creedmoor. That would be awesome. But with the gas system issues and breaking it in on the different gas setting levels that the owner's manual says you have to do that gun, I imagine it would be worse than 6.5 Creedmoor. And then it'd be cool, like for if they had a SFAR 20-inch hunter version in 7mm '08. That would be awesome. Yeah, I agree with you there. I've ordered from AT3, no issues at all. Good to know, Hudge. Hudge lives here in Alaska too, so you know, there you go. Great group of guys in here. How much snow is on the ground in Alaska right now? We have a little over 2.5 feet here. Is what it is. 20 minutes. Okay, that's how far away it is. My part of Alaska has at least 2 inches at the moment. Yeah, we're supposed to get more tonight. He's losing that mic. Is 375 Ruger too much for white-tailed deer? Thoughts on terminal results? Absolutely not. Get a soft point bullet. Get that 275 grain or whatever quantity soft point bullet interlocked. Uh, put it through the shoulder. You're gonna ruin a lot of meat than say 308 or 7 millimeter or like Creedmoor, but is what it is. Absolutely not. And if you're worried about ruined meat, put it through the neck. The neck meat's not that good anyway. So absolutely. House explosion was 3 or 4 miles away from me. Oh, about 6 inches settled snow. Yeah, we have over way over 2 feet here. The Alexandria explosion. Okay, I could not live in that places that tight like Alexandria where there's so many people. Crump, glad she's all right. The explosion looked gnarly. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Barry's pistol bullets? I've used them a lot. In fact, I have some to two-way and load. I think they're great. You load them right up to whatever the loading manual says. Great for practice. I wouldn't store them up for SHTF, but great for practice. Even the hollow points I wouldn't store up. They're a little bit fragmenty because it's plated on jacket. It's a cast soft lead bullet, and they plate on a copper jacket. It's like spray painted on type thing. It's not like a jacket made and they bond the cord to it, that kind of thing. So is what it is. Arlington, actually. Yep. All right. It's snowing here now. I haven't looked outside yet, so yeah, it's been wind blowing a lot. Sila has about 18 inches where it's been wind blown a lot. Yep. It's a good semi-auto 22 Magnum. Oh, if you can find that 922 Marlin from the and from the 1990s and early 2000s, there you go. And I guess the Savage right now is the only one that really makes a good 22 Magnum. Bear Creek Arsenal was making an AR-10 22 Magnum, but they only made 10 round magazines, so they never sold any. Um, yeah, I would stick with the bolt, the 22 Magnum. I would stick with the bolt. There's no point in it. Oh, thoughts on Taurus? We opened up the show with this Taurus 10 millimeter. It's gonna break. People are gonna put high pressure loads in it. It's gonna break. It's a Taurus. That's what they do. Okay. Spear gold dots have been great. Yep. They Spear gold dots are an absolutely great bullet. So there's that. All right. Hard cast for moose defense or soft point. Hard cast. Everything for defense. Anything in Alaska, you use hard cast. Whether that's at muskox that walked 20 yards through our camp this year, or a moose or a brown bear. If it's a defense in Alaska, you use hard cast or copper solids or something of that nature. You can't crip berry bullets, light only. I've created a so it will cut and create air breaks. Yeah, there you go. Rather have a suppressed Beretta Tomcat. You go, boy, with that. Yeah, hard cast is good. Yeah, the TX-22 is good. Like I said, I opened the show with this exact argument. All right, but generally speaking, and the G2C seems to be performing well with not many issues. But you start talking about high pressured cartridges in a gun manufacturer that's known to have lots and lots of issues with high pressured cartridges, things like Taurus judges and stuff like that. Is what it is. I would not do that. Why would you want a pump action 22 Magnum? 22 Magnum's made for accuracy. So I don't think anybody makes it anymore except for Rossi, if they even do. So look at that. 306 AB black tip ammo. Hello. Yeah, no, you want an expanding bullet. You want it to do some damage. And don't waste your black tip on a moose. How do you find low data for berries? Can I cross exchange data from my horny mantle? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Berries even says use any data for a similar size bullet. Wait, yeah. You can pretty much, not always, but you can pretty much cross data from any manual. Not always. Um, for example, so I had those 150 grain solid match Lehigh Defense 308 I'm looking for the box now for some reason. 308, 150 grain, and I used Barnes data for that because Lehigh Defense didn't have any data for 300 Win Mag. They had it for 308. So I loaded those in my 300 Win Mag, and voila. All right. So I had that from Barnes data. All right. That Landon Tactical Beretta Tomcat looks cool. I have to see that one. I hadn't seen that one. Ruger makes a 22 mag semi-auto. They're still making it? Yeah, I knew they were making it for a while. There you go. There you go. Get it. Is the 340 Weatherby and 338, 378 Weatherby mag popular up in Alaska? No, no, they're not popular anywhere because they're freaking $140 a box to shoot if you find it at all. So, and that was before all the ammo crisis, you know. So no, they're not popular. People that use them hand load, but you're not going to see it on the shelves. Like, oh, this is an Alaska caliber to buy. No, you're not going to see the gun or the ammo on the shelves. Here's a great question. What mistakes, in your opinion, do new reloaders consistently make? Um, so honestly, I've talked to people who started reloading and undercharging. They don't want to blow it up, so they start at the very bottom minimum, and then they complain about their gun's ammo not functioning it. Well, yeah, you use the minimum charge, so you need to use, especially semi-auto 9 mil, something like that. Use at least over halfway between the minimum and the maximum if you want the gun to cycle. A little over halfway in between. So those old 22 Speedmasters are cool. I agree with that. 22 250 zippity doodah. Yep, I have a 22 250. It's fast. It's not accurate though. American 22 Max in my auto is hell expensive because they are hard to find. Yep, absolutely. Yes, XDAs or XDMs can handle plus P. I've put so much. I put so much plus B through a polymer frame pistol. That's complete BS, dude. Maybe if you're shooting hundreds of rounds of it, but if you're just having it for defensive ammo, that's that. I do not reload. I have in the past reloaded with my dad for shotguns, but I actually took my shotgun and reloader equipment. I wanted to clean out my area and gave it to my cameraman dude. So he can have it now. He'll be reloading for it. So there's that. All right. Well, guys, it's been 47 minutes and a half, 47 and a half minutes on the air. Getting in your last questions here. Don't forget to go check out our MeWe page, our Arms Directory page, and over on Twitter/X. We also have some videos on Rumble, that kind of thing. And make sure you go check out all those things and help us out there if you can. So, yep. Defense is one thing, but I was thinking he was asking for just range ammo. Yeah, nobody shoots plus B for just range ammo. All right. But I've shot a lot of plus B. I've shot hundreds of rounds of plus B in a police turn-in gun. No, it's fine. I wouldn't do that. Hi Chip. Yeah, thanks for your channel from Boston. Thanks for joining in here at the last second. Guys, everybody have a great night. Godspeed. God bless. Good hunting to everybody. And we will see you next week. Like I said, the videos are going to be coming out slower because I'm working on health right now, my own health. So share all the old videos so I can still afford my health bills. Share more than you have been. But thanks, guys. God bless. Take care. We will see you at the range.